up, everybody? This is Sunko, the Korean bro. Today is 2022, June 23rd. What's up, everybody? What's up, everybody? Okay, let's look at today's article. Okay. Let's go to Yahoo Finance. And the next one we have is Market Beats. Let's see. How bear market rallies trap D buyers. Interesting article. Stock futures gain ahead of more Powell testimony. Berkshire Hathaway buys more Occidental shares. Nike to fully exit Russia. Stock markets not fully pricing the looming recession, warns Morgan Stanley's Mike Wilson. Seeking at least 8% dividend yield, analysts suggest two dividend stocks to buy. Dow Jones rallies, Tesla stock spikes as Elon Musk issues this warning. Bitcoin bounces after meltdown. Dow Jones up as Powell gives recession warning. Bitcoin crumbles again. Three stocks I buy points. Billionaire Ron Barron says recent market weakness offers huge buying opportunity. Here are three beaten down stocks analysts like. Mara stock is Marathon Digital Holdings a buy as Bitcoin rebounds off record lows. Goldman Sachs, these three stocks have over 40% upside despite market uncertainty. How bear market rallies trap the buyers and frustrate investors. Morning brief. Abby Joseph Cohen says era of everything going up is over. A cold Drake place. Michael Berry thinks the market has plenty of room to plunge, but he finally sees value in these four stocks. Microsoft stocks when to buy if the sell-off continues. Pandemic darling Zoom may be starting to shine again. Dow Jones futures rise. Li Auto set to break out on China EV subsidy hopes. Wall Street faces billion-dollar losses on sinking, buying out debt. Facebook, Netflix, and PayPal are value stocks now. Warren Buffett can't keep his hands off Occidental as Berkshire Hathaway buys more stock. Stock market reverses higher as Powell testifies. This growth index plunges 3.6%. Stock market reverses higher as Powell testifies. This growth index plunges 3.6%. Which EV charging stocks are the best bets? One analyst suggests two names to consider. Nike stock has tumbled this year. Why it still could be too pricey? Stock futures rise ahead of Powell testimony. Nike stock edges higher on Russia exit report ahead of quarter earnings. 5 best Chinese stocks, 2 Tesla rivals nearby points. Ammo stock is Marlboro maker Ultra buy as FDA reportedly plans dual crackdown. Raytheon stock joins LE Club amid hefty profits. Bond yields sink on recession fear. As earnings shortfall is coming, it's bad news for stocks. These are the 5 best stocks to buy and watch now. Toyota cut stake in Uber by half, looks to maintain ties. MicroStrategy bullish unfazed by double dose of pain. DocuSign isn't ready to pull from the shredder. Jim Rogers warns of the worst bear market in his lifetime. These are the least dangerous assets to own today. Robinhood transforms from high flyer to dicey value stock in less than a year. Here's how much the average working boomer has saved for retirement. AMD is a cheap stock to buy on the deep, Morgan Stanley says. This dividend fund is down only 3% this year versus the S&P's 20% decline. Here are the manager's top stock picks. A new EV company arrives this week. It's worth more than Rivian. Stocks are losing the race with bonds in era of tightening Fed. Why the stock market's big Tuesday rally is looking like a bear bounce? DocuSign CEO is out as post-pandemic growth continues to slow. Mars has recently become bigger than Coca-Cola, and the reason might not have much to do with candy bars. This once popular investment pays off by doing absolutely nothing. Coach stock tumbled. The buyout offer might be lowered. Netflix stock moves higher and reported talks to develop AD-based business model. Made the unlucky stock market investor of modern times. Most stocks can't keep up with the breakneck pace of inflation, but these three dividend stocks are pulling ahead, with yields as high as 12%. Mercer surrounds $500 million outflow from Bitcoin ETF. Future rise as lower treasury yields boost high growth stocks. Stocks go nowhere. Powell calls recession possibility. Accenture's revenue forecast meets its estimates. The stock falls. Dip rift lies behind Biden's criticism of oil and gas industry. SoftBank's Sun faces shareholders shaken by $34 billion loss. Essential earnings miss on Russia impact as sales outlook falls short. JP Morgan analyst lowers price targets on these four popular REITs as recession fears rise. Ultra stock dodges this decision and threatens to vaporize Joe investment. Baltic Power KEG or the marijuana stocks in U.S. exchanges buys amid more layoffs. Coinbase rival cuts Bitcoin trading fees to zero. A price war could be next. GameStop Corp stocks earns another relative strength rating upgrade. Kellogg wants to split up while the stock may be looking appetizing. Amazon concerns are already banked into the stock, says a five-star analyst. Darden stock gains as earnings top expectations, dividend increased. Palantir stock can take off because data is a strategic asset. Tesla is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. This analyst says why he's still bull. Big changes to 401k retirement plans get closer with Senate votes. Is Novavax stock a buy or sell with its COVID shot now in FDA limbo? The cryptocurrency crash could lead to a wave of M&A. Rite Aid stock gains on boost revenue forecast, smaller loss than expected. Occidental Petroleum could see its charts improve as Buffett ups its stake. Diamondback stocks jumps, its dividend increase hard to ignore. Is J&J stock a buy on its recent spate of positive cancer news? FedEx earnings preview package growth forecast activist changes in focus on their new CEO. Chevron lands on a surprising leash to stocks. Financial advisors should think about the cryptocurrency. Okay, this is about it. Okay. How bear market rallies trap deep buyers and frustrate investors. Morning brief. Today's newsletter is by Gerald Bilkra. Bear market rallies are the stuff of legends, born through a combination of conditioned deep buying and FOMO or A fear of missing out from investors. The bear market rally's purpose is to maximize investor pain. The bear market rally's purpose is to maximize investor pain. And these events do it well. The market lures in new longs, only to eventually send stocks to new lows. At the beginning of bear market turns, these rallies are flashy and short-lived. As market grinds lower, these rallies tend to grow bigger, more exciting, and quite deceptive. During the financial crisis, the market had fake investors with three minor rallies from fall '07 through summer '08 of 8%, 12%, and 7% respectively, suckering in the new longs near the 2007 record highs. And then markets rally started massing with investors. Declines of 45%, 51% from record highs were met with rallies of 18%, 24% in the fall of 2008. Moves that came several months before the market's ultimate bottom in March 2009. Sunny headlines were reading stocks market 20% off the lows, enticing traumatized investors to partially pull the trigger on what remained of their cash position, only to see new lows in the coming weeks and months. During the dot-com bubble burst, it took nearly 3 years for the bear market to finally shake out bag holders from the first tech mania. Okay, it took 3 years in this article. Okay, during the dot-com bubble burst, it took nearly 3 years for the bear market to finally shake out bag holders from the first tech mania. The S&P 500 dropped 49% from record highs before hitting its ultimate bottom in late 2002. Over the course of 2001 and 2002, the S&P 500 saw no fewer than four rallies of 19% or more. Hmm. Wow, 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 wow. So this signifies that this rare bear rally could take a bit longer than I expect. It says it took about 3 years uh, to get to upward trend again. Hmm. Berkshire Hathaway buys 9.6 million more Oxygen shares. Warren Buffett's Berkshire Hathaway bought another 9.6 million shares of Occidental Petroleum Corp, boosting its stake to 16.3% as the oil company shares come off the year's high. The purchases were made over the past week and cost about $529 million. Berkshire said in a regulatory filing on Wednesday. These come on top of $336 million share purchase by Berkshire last month, and the oil company and $7 billion in purchases earlier this year. Following the purchases, Berkshire now owns about 152.7 million Occidental shares, worth about $8.52 billion based on Occidental stock's Wednesday close, which is down over 21% since it touched its year's high in May. Berkshire has been on a spending spree in 2022. It spent $51.1 billion on equities in the first quarter, including an increased $25.9 billion stake in oil company Chevron Corp. Okay, let's look at what Berkshire spends money on. Uh, from what I understand, he normally spends money on Coca-Cola or the company that deals with um what is or daily products such as soap, shampoo, stuff like that, Dow and Jones. And now he's spending so much money on oil company such as Chevron or analysts have viewed Occidental and Chevron as a way for Berkshire to benefit from rising oil prices following Russia's invasion of Ukraine. Well, it's quite so obvious. Yes, indeed, invasion of Ukraine could lead to, will possibly lead to the rise of rise of oil price. Uh, Analysts have viewed auction of Chevron as a way for Berkshire to benefit from rising oil prices following Russia's invasion of Ukraine. Hmm. Exclusive Nike to fully exit Russia will scale down in coming months. Uh, U.S. sportswear maker Nike is making a full exit from Russia 3 months after suspending its operations there. The company said in an emailed statement Thursday. Nike said on March 3rd it would temporarily suspend operations at its own Nike owned and operated stores in Russia in response to Moscow's action in Ukraine, adding that those still open were operated by independent partners. Hmm. On Thursday, it joined other major Western brands like McDonald's and Google in confirming it will leave the country completely. Okay, Nike is taking like firm action. Uh, they're going to exit Russia, which is a big thing because Russia is also a big market, right? Seeking at least 8% dividend, analysts suggest two dividend stocks to buy. Starwood Property. We'll start with a real estate investment trust REITs, a class of company long known for their high yield dividend payments. Starwood Property, uh, enterprise product partners from REITs will turn to energy stocks or a sector that is well known for returning profits to stakeholders via dividends. Enterprise product is a midstream company, one of the many energy sector operators that moves products. Dow Jones up as well. Powell gives recession warning. Um, the Dow Jones Industrial Average rose even after Federal Reserve Chairman Jerome Powell issued a recession warning. Bitcoin was falling again with Coinbase and Ride blockchain also tumbling. Apple rose after bullish analyst call. With the market in turmoil, now is the time to be building one's watch list. Legend Biotech, Novo Nordisk, and Johnson & Johnson are all showing strength as they eye buy points. What is it? Legend, Biotech, Novo Nordisk. Hmm. Even after Federal Reserve Chairman Jerome Powell issued a recession warning, Bitcoin was falling again, with Coinbase and Ride blockchain also tumbling. Apple rose after bullish analyst call. Hmm. Targets inflation. Fed Chairman Jerome Powell showed composure as he came under scrutiny during the first of two appearances this week before Congress. Nevertheless, he told the Senate Banking Committee that it is certainly a possibility that the central bank's attempts to tackle inflation could lead to recession. Small caps reverses higher. Billionaire Ron Barron says recent market weakness offers huge buying opportunity. Wallbox. We'll start with the Wallbox, a Spanish firm in the electric vehicle charging market. Wallbox works on both the commercial and residential sides of EV charging, offering range of charging products for home and business use. Charger features include universal plush and touchscreen controls. Wallbox takes particular pride in offering the first bidirectional charger unit, allowing a fully charged EV to send power to the user's home or even to the electrical grid. In effect, turning the EV into a strong storage battery when it's not in use as a car. Okay, it's not okay. It's on my watch list already. Takes particular pride in okay. Wallbox has been on the public market since last October. Okay, it hasn't been that long. It was it was it started opening last year. Uh, when it completed a business merger with a SPAC firm since its Wall Street debut, WBX shares peaked at $18.50 in November and were still trading near $17 as 2022 opened, but are down 47% so far this year. The sharp drop in share price has come even as a Wallbox has reported strong financial results. Okay. Genoroc Holdings, GNRC. For the second style, we'll look at Wisconsin-based Genoroc, a manufacturer of electrical power generators. The company's generators are designed as backup units for use in the residential, light commercial, industrial markets to provide power in the event of a grid failure. Genoroc offers a wide range of generator units from 15 kilowatt devices suitable for home use to multi-megawatt power systems for the industrial sector. Customer can even choose small portable generators for workshop or camping use. Hmm. Is there any other company listed here? Silvergate Capital. Last but not least is Silvergate, a commercial bank from California with a focus on digital currency investing. What else? Okay, that's it. These three stocks have over 40% upside despite market uncertainty. These three stocks have a 40% upside despite market uncertainty. Okay, Global E Online. The first Goldman peak we'll look at is the Global E Online, an international e-commerce tech firm. Global E operates an online platform that facilitates direct-to-customer online commerce in the cross-border markets. Global E Online. Okay, it's on my watch list already. The platform allows merchants to smooth out tax. And customers differences between sellers and buyers and lets retailers streamline their international customers um, online shopping in over 200 local markets, adapting to differences in languages, currencies, shipping, and regulatory authorities. The company works with enterprise customers in US, European, and Asian markets. So while earnings are down, business is up. Goldman analyst Will Nance takes note of this in his review of the stock, writing, while the macro environment remains highly uncertain, the company believes its low double-digit EBITDA margins, positive free cash flow, efficient customer acquisition model, and strong secular tailwinds are likely to support continued growth and investment in the business. Okay, Innovis Technologies. Next up, Innovis produces leader systems, an advanced sensor system used in GPS and airborne choreography, topography, and surveying, but that has also applications in navigation and autonomous vehicles. Lidar systems use advanced lidar technology to act as the eyes of self-driving cars, and along with high-end AI computing, are part of the essential tech that will make autonomous vehicles a reality. Next one. Abby Joseph Collins' era of everything going up is over. Okay. With fervor in markets receding, investors will need to critically focus on fundamentals and security selection to ride out the turbulence. Abby Joseph Cohen said, the S&P 500 index is poised for its worst first half since Richard Nixon's presidency as red-hot inflation and Federal Reserve interest rate hikes better stocks. Amid the current sell-off, picking out securities will be important. Cohen, a professor at Columbia Business School and former senior investment strategist at Goldman Sachs Group, said in an interview on Bloomberg Surveillance Wednesday, for the last few years, the fundamentals have mattered less than things like momentum and investor enthusiasm, she said. Hmm. We're now back into a period in which where it does matter. Um, where it's the fundamentals of earnings, the fundamentals of margins, the fundamentals of inflation and interest rates, and putting that all together in terms of valuation models that will make a big difference for investors going forward. We see a move now, I believe, toward alpha, and that's not just within the US equity market. There's likely to happen in other developed markets as well. and also think of it more broadly in terms of asset categories. They are no longer all going to be moving in lockstep, she said. While interest rates rise, both corporation and money managers will find it more difficult to use leverage to turbocharge returns. So that means their underlying ability to perform well becomes more critical, Cohen said. Hmm. A core dark place. Michael Burry thinks the market has plenty of room to plunge, but he finally sees value in these four stocks. Okay, what value does the Apple? I know Warner Brothers Discovery. Okay, we got Meta Platforms and Alphabet. A Burry's bet on big tech is clearly noteworthy. The hash fund manager depicted by Christian Bale in the Bale short, he has been aggressively investing during this market downturn. But Burry's latest 13F filing for the first quarter of 2022 shows a broad range of new investments and some interesting strategic moves with options. That's a significant shift from the previous quarter when Burry was selling most of his stock's portfolio and calling for the mother of all crashes. He's not exactly bullish on the overall market, recently issuing a serious warning about inflation. Transitory, no peak, no to the moon. If you mean a cold, dark place, Burry wrote in a since deleted tweet. Okay, let's see. Meta Platforms and Alphabet, tech and growth stocks have been out of favor for nearly half a year. Adding these two stocks to the portfolio for the first time is a contrarian move. Burr's portfolio now includes 6,500 shares of Google parent Alphabet and 80,000 shares of Meta Platforms, the parent company of Facebook. They're his fourth and sixth largest holdings, respectively. Bookings.com. Travel websites Booking.com is now the second largest holding in Burr's Cian asset management portfolio. He bought 8,000 shares of the company in the first quarter. Booking stock is trading at a price to cash flow ratio of Booking.com. Let's okay. What was BKNG? Its ticker was BKNG. Okay. Warner Brothers Discovery. When to buy if the sell-off continues? When to buy Microsoft when sell-off continues? Stocks tops most of Fein performance in all of that group in profit margin. But does that make the stock a buy right now? There's no other way to put it. Tech is more in a bear market. Many stocks are down 40% to 50% or more. The stock is currently 27% below its all-time high and has suffered this big to trial decline of 31%. Pandemic darling Zoom may be starting to shine again. The enterprise market will be the key for the video conference company over the coming years. When the world adjusted to the new reality of living and working the constraints of a pandemic, Zoom Video Communications Inc. was one of the big winners until it wasn't. After experiencing meteoric rise in 2019 and 2020, Zoom shares tumbled in 2021 and 2022 as pandemic restrictions eased and Wall Street expressed concerns about customer growth. Could this be about to change? Since Zoom reported its first quarter results after the May 23rd close, the company's stock has risen about 29%, closing at $115.17 on Wednesday. That included a 5.6% surge on the day following first quarter results, which snapped the six-quarter streak in which the stock fell following earnings. A maturity threshold about 18 months. The company has noticed a strong correlation with high retention in the cohort compared to elevated churn levels in the first 3 months of a customer life cycle. Facebook, Netflix, and PayPal are value stocks now. Netflix, why would they rate Netflix as a value stock? I wonder. Which EV charge stocks are the best bets? One analyst suggests two names to consider. Tritium DCFC Limited. Tritium is an Australian firm that's been in the electric charger business since 2001. The company focuses on DC fast chargers, manufacturing both the software and hardware for these advanced EV charging systems. The company has over 6,700 chargers in operations in more than 41 countries. Tritium's fast chargers are designed to fill a major need in the EV segment by reducing a recharge time. The DC fast charge tag can bring most consumer EVs to an 80% charge status in less than 45 minutes. Okay, now they're boasting. They brag that if customer uses their product, customer will likely have charge will likely charge their products in less than 45 minutes. Yes. Hmm. In April of this year, the company entered a multi-year contract with the energy sector giant BP. Okay. What else do we have? Beam Global. The second EV charging stock we're looking at provides a range of power products for using a variety of charging and battery storage in the shades. The company's most prominent product is the EV ARC, or autonomous renewable charger. Okay, Nike stock has tumbled this year. Why it still could be too pricey? Nike stock has slid nearly 40% from its high in the late 2021, but it's actually a testament to an investor's confidence the athlete giant. That's one another same article. Five bad Chinese stocks. Hundreds of Chinese companies are listed on US markets, but which are the best Chinese stocks to buy or watch now? Among the best are JD.com, NetEase, Li Auto's, Xpeng, and Baidu. China is the world's most populous nation, the second largest economy, with a booming urban middle class and amazing entrepreneur activity. Dozens of Chinese stocks are often among the top performers at any given time across an array of sectors. COVID shutdowns, regulatory hopes. As the world's large internet market, it's no surprise to see big growth from China stocks focusing on e-commerce, messaging, or mobile gaming. Notable Chinese internet stocks include Alibaba, JD.com, Pinduoduo, Tencent, Vshop, Baidu, blah 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 blah. So much, so much. What do we have? Northern Grumman, Dollar General. Uh, 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 I don't know about that. Isn't ready to pull from the shredder. didn't make DocuSign a house show name like Zoom, but the aftermath has been just as brutal. The provider of cloud-based document management service has shed 80% of its internet market value from its peak last year. That is external to what Zoom Video Communication has given up since hitting its own peak in late 2020, just before the announcement of the first COVID-19 vaccines. The pandemic sparked a huge jump in demand for both services and but documents don't DocuSigns should have proven to be the more resilient of the two. Bill Gates says crypto and NFTs are a foolish game. Here's the surprising thing he buys instead. Mitt Romney says the billionaire tax will trigger demand for these two assets, getting now before the super rich swarm. Stocks are down, but cash is not a safe investment, says Ray Dalio. Okay, I'm getting really tired tonight, so I'll see you guys tomorrow, okay? Hmm. Okay. I'm gonna take a rest. I'm getting really, really tired, okay? Okay, see you guys. Bye bye.